Hello and welcome to another interesting episode of the Beauty, Brains and the Bad podcast with Powerful Princess. My name is Princess Agobir and I am your host. Today is another exciting episode of our extra special season, Not Just Pretty, but Pretty Powerful, where we interview amazing women who are dominating leadership across different sectors. Now, for today's episode, I have with me a phenomenal woman, a pretty powerful woman, and this guest today is the woman that has broken barriers in the energy sector, and she is a living example of what leadership and excellence looks like. She is no other person than Dr. Zainab Gobir, the Executive Director of Economic Regulation and Strategic Planning at the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulation Agency, NMDPRA. Now, are you ready to see our special guest today? Let's welcome Dr. Zainab Gobir. Okay, so thank you so much for being here, Ma. Thank you so much. I mean, they've heard all about the accolades and your titles, and I'm sure they're like, okay, we can't wait to hear it because this is such a phenomenal woman sitting right here today. But let's really just start from where it all began, leadership. How did it start?
Wow. So I'm sure I'm going to give you a dynamic answer you've never heard.
Okay.
Leadership starts once you realize you're a girl child. Yes. So as women, we're automatic leaders. We were programmed, built to be leaders because look at your genetics. Look at how you're going to carry your child. Look at what you're expected to do, lead a family. Of course, under someone else, right? But technically, you lead. You're the one that carries the pregnancy. You're the ones that ensure the morals and ethics are sound. You're the ones that put in the discipline. And you're the one that see things follow through. So when you ask me, when did leadership start for me? I think I believed I knew I was a girl at the age of 6, 7. So that's when leadership started for me. And for every woman, it's at the point of realization that your role as a procreator is the one role that can never be taken away. So anytime I meet any lady, any woman, I always tell them, you have a resume, you're already a woman, and it's a job that can never be taken away from you. So that is when leadership started. Now, if you want to talk about organized leadership, again, that starts from primary school, where you have your friends. They see your distinctiveness. They see that you're unique. You have a lot to offer. They see that you're organized and you're well thought out. So with those attributes, people will start to set expectations for you. And that is exactly what leadership is. Expectation being set and you meeting or even exceeding those expectations. Then when you want to talk about leadership professionally, again, that goes back to making the best of the situation you're in. So for me, for career-wise, my leadership position started where I was in the banking sector, Bank of America to be precise, in the US, and at a very, very young age. Then I spurred from being a bank teller, that's what we call it in America. So it's what you call cashier here, just semantics terminologies, basically. Then I became a supervisor. Then I moved into the computer science field. So then I became a business process analyst to becoming a business analyst. And then I started to grow into management, project management, program management, Then I became a director. Then I relocated, of course, to Nigeria and got an employment as head of finance and admin of a small government agency under Joint Tax Board. It's what it's called, a wonderful organization, might I say, which was led at that time by a phenomenal woman called Ifweku Amaugui Okauru. And she saw the vision in bringing young youths, because I was quite young, very young, to hold, a leadership position. I had the qualifications, of course, but, not a typical scenario where people would take a chance on you as a youth. And from there, from my delivery, my professionalism, my ethics, my morals, my passion, and most importantly, my patriotism for my country was now transited to Federal Inland Revenue Service, where I headed the innovation unit under the Office of the Executive Chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service, which is Mr. Fowler. From there, from working so hard, being in charge of World Bank Ease of Doing Business, where I got the rare opportunity of working with ministers, top echelon in Nigeria. And when I say top echelon, I mean professional people that have vision, people that had focus, they understood problems, and they had solutions. And then they also believed in those of us that were mentees, lack of a better word, under them, to say, hey, go ahead, let's see you take charge. So I had the privilege of being in the Ease of Doing Business team. And from there, from the work I did, I got recommended to be an executive director at the Nigerian Midstream, Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority as an executive director. So that's where I am right now. But my most important position, that again can never be taken away, is that I'm a woman and I'm a mother. Too many, but I'm a mother. So.
Wow. Okay. So I don't even know where do I start from, because I like how you framed this, framed the whole conversation. You started from the biological part of it, which is our biological recall, and it was kind of the default setting. So it's like, as a woman, either you like it or not, just the way you were created, you were already created a leader.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't even look at it from that point of view. So you bringing it into perspective is quite interesting. And then I just loved hearing about your evolution and small steps that you took, and everything just moved into the next thing, and all of a sudden it just exploded into something massive. And it's just important because every single step you were able to say, that means every single step was important, no matter how small the role was.
Absolutely.
It played a big part in, framing the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I think a lot of we young girls, we tend to forget when we see leadership, or we see women leading or leading. We just think, they just got there, it's just But then just hearing how they started as a bank teller / cashier, depending on who is watching, and then you started growing, and then you even made a move from the banking sector into the tech sector. What inspired that shift? Was there someone told you to do, I think you should do this, or you just thought, I want to just stop it deadline?
Okay. So let me take you one level down, which I skipped actually deliberately, but I'm going to go back to it. So before I became a teller, I was employed in a grocery store called Kroger's in the U.S. And then we used to have banks inside grocery stores in the U.S. And so I was employed as a bagger. So what does a bagger do? When people buy stuff, you put it in the bag and you wheel the cart to their car, load up their car, and you come back. And I did it with my head up high. I loved it. That was the opportunity in my hands. I've always been raised with the cup half full, not half empty. And from bagging, the manager was observing. I was just doing what I love to do. Whatever it is I do, I make the best out of it. And immediately I got to an age where I could be a cashier. I became a cashier. And in the US, the way they sell fruits is they measure the fruits and they come with a code. And I literally, till now, I can tell you the codes for all the fruits. The different apples, bananas, watermelon, pineapple, they all had codes. I remember. 4011 is banana. Anybody go look it up. 4011 is banana. So when you go to your grocery store, you pick up a banana and they put it on a scale, 4011, and it'll tell you how much it is. So I went from being in the long queue, but because I was so good, I was the fastest queue because I didn't have to be opening the book to look for the code for kiwi or code for apple. I knew the different type of apples, So I went from that, then I got to what they call the VIP line, where you had to have 15 or less items. So the quick checkout line. So the quick checkout line is where the business people lunchtime come to, because they just want to pick up a sandwich and leave, right? Yeah. So it's from there the bank manager of Bank of America actually spotted my talent and was watching me till I turned 18. And on my 18th birthday, just randomly, everybody was celebrating my birthday. He wasn't there, and he's one of my favorite customers. Even the old people would come into my line, yeah. And in the evening, I was so disappointed, like, oh my God, he didn't show up. And he's like usually my biggest fan, and only for him to show up with a letter of offer for employment that the bank has been watching, how proficient I've been, efficiency, how I have a passion for what I do. When a customer needs something, they can't find it in the aisle. I don't wait for the aisle guys to go look for it. I do. I check inventory. I go to the back to find the product. It got to a point where I knew what customers wanted. So I started what you call pre-carding. So if I already know that you come in and you buy gala apples, and you buy banana and watermelon, then you buy dog food, a specific type, and I know you'd pick up sausage, bread, I'd have it already ready for you. So you literally just come in as a customer. You look at it, whatever's not there, you pick it up, put it in, and you go. So I literally started creating a mini database of customers, and they'll just come in, pick up the basket, roll it out, and we check them out, and they get to go. So, yeah. Then they had what you call Thanksgiving, where they had Turkey Thursdays. So I'd help people save on coupons. We used to have coupons back in those days where you get 20% off of something. So I did that. Then we had a small issue in the grocery store where environmentalists had a problem with plastics because it was bad for the environment, and they wanted people to adopt using paper. And so I spoke to my boss. I was like, we can do paper. And I sat there, I was like, if you do paper, we'll actually make a lot more money from tax, because when they recycle the paper bags, you're spending less on plastic bags, and that reduces your tax, corporate taxes in the state of Texas at that point, in that city, Dallas, at that point. And it was just, for the store manager, the Kroger manager was just like, how old are you again? And so, this is how it started. So now to your question is, I got here by always finding the gaps. What is lacking? What is everybody not doing? I don't follow the crowd. I set a pace. I've always been that way. What is that job? What is that thing that nobody wants to do? And what impact will it make? And that has been what has always worked for me. When I got into the bank, the same thing. So I would know customers that would come Fridays just to get a certain amount of money. So we'd have it pre-ready, right? So when they come in, it's right there. They don't have to wait. So they have a different line where they're probably coming just to get a couple of cash for the weekend. You already know how much they usually get because you do what you call analysis, right? Predictive analysis. And they come in and they don't have to stand in line to write a check of $100 because you already have the $100 out. They'll just give you the check, you verify, because you've done the verification, you know they have the balance, you know they're going to come. You've seen the consistency of the transactions and you move on. So, gradually.
It's a flying in my mouth because I at least had my mouth open throughout because it's the intentionality even from a very young age.
Yes.
And just like you said, not just doing because everyone is doing, but literally finding the gaps, sitting down and looking and saying, okay, how can I make this place better? How can I when what's already happening? Mm-hmm. And I can only imagine what the managers and what they felt just having you working with them, and you were not able to feel your leadership. You were not able to leadership. You were just supposed to be working in your job, so you didn't have to do any of these things. But it was just taking initiative and just trying to improve on what was happening right there, and that just leads into my. I want to say lots of what I don't want to. I mean, the topic is for you to do really, but I'm listening. And I'm just I'm blown away by the mindset that you had at such a really young age.
Yes,
I really want to know how did you start thinking that way? Was it you could born that way, or did something just make you start, having that thought process?
My mom.
Okay.
My mom. She always taught us you're leaders.
Yeah.
She raised us with distinctive personality, integrity.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll never forget what she told me a story one day. She says, don't ever be in a situation where you'll have to explain yourself. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She's like, don't be in a scene where people are gathered. Yeah? And they are shouting, ole, 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 thief, 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 thief. No, you're not necessarily the subject, you're there. So when the police comes, they're going to pack everybody, right? So onlookers have seen them pack you with a group of possible criminals. It's when you get to the police station, they will now start sipping out who did the crime, who was a witness, who was just walking by, right? And she used it in the essence of being in school, where if you hang out with the wrong crew and something happens,
everybody's sweet again.
They're going to say, oh, Zainab was packed with these gangsters. It's when they know, people don't investigate what happens after that. Because the rumor, you're a media person, you know how it goes. It's that caption that is hot. Nobody reads the details. So it's like you've associated yourself to something. So to your point, to your question is, so since I was little, I knew, okay, if I didn't want to be in situations that my mom described, then I had to set a pace for myself. Right? So I had to always set a pace for myself and be the one to bring a creed of people I want to be around, not to follow whoever is there. Secondly, we were raised with our confidence. We were raised with excellent confidence. We knew we were, I don't want to use the word creme de la creme, not financially. People can always get that mixed up. In terms of the best ethics, morals, discipline, thought process. Where do you come from? Do you have a name? What's your name, family name? So that's what I mean. So those were the things where my mom would always remember the way to your village. They know us somewhere. So she always harped on us on that. So to be fair, that is who did it. My mom. She made that happen. Just letting us know we're leaders from jump.
Wow. And that is really just really about what you said earlier about leadership, like how women are biologically already made leaders.
Yes, ma'am.
Mom, she laid the foundation for you to become the phenomenal leader that you are today, and she started this work when you were really
young,
very young,
very young,
and that shows how important the role of women. And as you said already, even in the leadership, and it's not only about you today, but about the people that you are going to, your children, how you're going to frame their mindset and you set the pace for them, for their own future leadership. Wow, that's quite a story. Like I'm impressed, but I'm also inspired just listening to everything that you're saying right now, and how it was not an accidental, or it was not a luck thing, or it was literally intentionally building a career for brick by brick, through with work ethic and having principles and, having integrity. And that's one thing that you said several times. So I think that's like the guiding light.
Absolutely.
Integrity. So, after hearing everything that you said and literally hearing that you've gone through different ranks and in different organizations as well, right? I can only imagine that with great responsibilities as you've had right now, and you've probably come some challenges as well. So how have you dealt with those challenges? Or try the ones that came just because of the fact that you are a woman, trying to get into the spaces. How have you dealt with them?
Excellent question. Very good question. Thank you for asking. If, Girl Child has ever listened to me before, this is the one thing they should listen to. Life has never been made easy for a woman. You're born ready for challenges. We're talking to a girl child audience. To enter puberty, you can imagine, you remember what you went through. It's painful. Very painful. So that already tells you, it sets the stage for you to understand what life is going to be about. And the challenges, funny enough, is now you're in an environment where you have three key elements. Nigeria is very religious, which is beautiful. Nigeria is very cultured. Again, magnificent. And Nigeria is very dynamic. Again, magnificent. But with these three things come different thought process. So naturally, in religion, women are seen as second. Excellent. In our culture, the same thing. In dynamism, however, we're not. That's where the power is. So that's the challenge. The challenge is, once you can conquer dynamism, you can conquer the rest. Why do I say this? Women want a seat at the table. You don't just get it. You earn it the way they earn it. But you do yours with decency. I've heard a lot of women say, I can't go to beer parlor, that's where men talk and get jobs. I can't be roaming around the streets at night. I have never done that. But what I've always done is my homework. Study your environment. Again, what is needed? What is the gap? Men are built in a certain way. They can't change themselves. Women are adaptive. So that's your power. That's the challenge, and that's the power. Compassion, empathy, emotional. You hear men who say, she's a woman. It's not an insult. It's a beautiful thing. Because every man needs emotion. He was raised by a woman. So you wait. You wait till something is going wrong, and you kick into action. And be there for him. Like his mom. Like his sister, like his wife, like his daughter. Not doing illicit stuff, no. Emotionally. So I'll give you a case in point, for example. Your boss has a job or a task to do. And maybe he's very brilliant, but he's not organized. You come in. Organize his work. Yes? So I'll give you an example. One of the places I work, my boss didn't like reading newspaper, not in Nigeria. But part of his job, of course, was to know what's going on around the world. So I would sit there reading newspapers on my own. And never did. And I would give him a one-page summary of what had to do with his particular position. So they talked about this, and this. And this is the implication of it to what you do. So this, and this is what you need to look into. These are the people that would do it. This is when they need to do it. This is how you get it across. One pager. That's it. When I worked in Joint Tax Board, I had 39 bosses. So the 36 states of Inland Revenue Services, right? And then the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Then you had, of course, Custom, immigration, road safety. Then, of course, with FCT, it's a 36, right? Make it 37, 37, right? Then we had 2 or 3 other observers. Immigration were observers, and then the staff. And I was the head of finance and admin, so I can sit down and be madam. But I knew each of those chairmen that I was working with or for. I knew how they want their coffee. This one takes coffee with honey. This takes coffee black. This takes coffee with specific milk. And what I would do, this is where the cultural thing kicked in, because most of the time, 99.9% of the time they were men. I'd make their tea in front of them, but I knew exactly, again, what they did. If it was lunchtime, I made a menu, and I passed it around. Select what you want. They selected in front of them. They're sitting, but they're watching, and their food is served, and they don't have to get up. Because again, these were also elders. Like I told you, I was a youth. So I was also ready to stoop, because these are people that were my dad's mate or my uncle's age mates, where I'm not expected. Yes, I might be close to par or, something, but that culture still comes in. So again, back to your point is, those are the challenges. So the challenge is nobody wants you at the table because you're a lady. But you got to earn it. So when there's one meeting happening and you're not there, your absence is felt. Then they look for you. Then they give you a chair. And then you sit down.
Wow, okay. This is, again, beautiful perspective and unexpected, because we hear a lot of things. There's a lot of information out there, or do this, do that, do that. But, nobody really comes and says, that gives you the stories and, actual, what I have done.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of makes it a lot more easy to understand. Because when someone just says, okay, serve them, that's a very broad statement, and there's many ways, and it's just like you don't really know what am I supposed to do. So now you're just bringing the story about the tea being, even though some people are like, oh, I don't want to serve, but the understanding of it comes from you knowing that this is a cultural country, and like you said, to look for you on that table.
I've been in a meeting where a young lady that was employed was asked to make tea. She says, I went to university to come and make tea. I looked at her, I was like, oh dear Lord.
The funny thing is that so we are told, don't go and be serving them so you don't look like, you're supposed to be serving, but not. This is like you living in a different way.
Right. You are a nurturer. Yeah. Right. So that's why I told you that once you have these 3 things, you know where you belong. So from religion, you're the neck, basically, right? They're the head. Yes. Well, you turn the head, right? Some head needs to be turned physically, where you have to look at me, or do something to make them turn the head. So you have to be strategic about it. Now, I'm not saying girls should go around making tea. I'm saying that's just one example.
How you can make sure that
you
were needed at that time.
Exactly. And for them, it wasn't the tea. It was the fact that you could sit down and realize that there's a service that needed to be offered, and you offered that service.
Honestly, these conversations have been so inspiring, and even myself, who is trying to be the storyteller, is learning a lot of things, from what you're saying. And we're going to learn so much from you, but I didn't expect this level of depth. I know who you are, but
thank you.
It's just a different dimension.
I'm humbled. Thank you.
To have you. But I just want, we're not ending soon, but we're ending soon. But I have a really important pressing question.
Sure.
Yes, and this is something that I think a lot of women watching would also want to know. Right?
Sure.
You spoke about your journey already and how you got in. But for example, can we feel like a blueprint on what a young, let's say, a 15 or an 18-year-old girl who's just about to start into the journey, maybe she's out of school, or I just want us to really begin this journey into leadership. What would you say are the questions that they need to first do? How can they go about it? Just starting out their journey.
Okay. First and foremost, your friends. Who do you move with? In my position, a leadership position, let's say, for example, you come and you apply for a job. The first thing I'm going to do is go to your social media. I'll look at your followers. I'll look at your profile pictures. A lot of our young girls, you see they'll apply for work. You go to their social media, they're posing on the car, not appropriately dressed. Yeah. Some sitting down with a beer in their hand. You have to know the environment you're in. You have to have, I think what we're lacking is, and I would say maybe for my generation is we didn't pass it on, maybe, some of us, is, I don't want to say the Queen's teaching, eloquence, elegance, right time, right place, know when to talk, when not to talk, know what to say, when not to say. If you're going to party, nobody's stopping you. But do you need to announce it to the world? It's called a social media. It's not limiting. And it tells a story. It has history behind it. So at 15, think of yourself that you're 30. What do you want your kids to know about you when you were 15? What precedents are you setting for yourself? That defines you. Your journey defines you. So once you think ahead, you look at people like Dora Akunyele, may her soul rest in peace. You look at Okonjo-Iweala, spectacular. Haji Amina Mohammed, Dr. Haji Amina Mohammed, spectacular. Mariam Babangida, Her Excellency, the First Lady of Nigeria. She doesn't parade herself just anyhow. You barely see her, right? So, and there's a lot more. Dame Jonathan, she was a compassionate human being. When the whole things were happening in Borno, the female part of her came out. Yes, people laughed about it. I didn't find it funny when people were making jokes about it because she was crying about a legitimate problem, right? All ministers, I can keep, the list goes on and on. There are a lot of wonderful, great women in Nigeria. You also have even women in entertainment that have boundaries. When you see someone doing their job, it's completely different from their real life. You have to put that into consideration. So you can't live your life as a game every day. There's a time and a place for everything. Then you have to have, like I said, boundaries, control. 3 things I'll teach women. The stomach is not just for food. It's for information. It's not everything you share. 1. 2. Do not present yourself in a manner where you have to explain yourself. So what do I mean by that? You wear a miniskirt to the office space. When you see the Western world we're copying, they're not going to wear a miniskirt to the office. They're wearing it to the club. You have a club wear on during official hours that has rules or regulation of what your policies. Basically, don't flout policies. And that is what biblical books are about. The Quran is about. The Torah is about. The Bible is about. Even people that are traditionalists, their rules and ethics to all these things. Why are you not following them? Simply because you have a computer and you can talk to everybody around the world? You can't beat an Indian tribe. They don't go outside of their culture. The Chinese culture They're a very disciplined group of people. So you have to understand, what do you want for yourself? There's no such thing, the third thing, as quick money.
Okay. Wow.
Easy come, easy goes.
Simple.
Earn your income. There's dignity in it, in whatever it is you're doing. I told somebody a story one day. I said, do you know, as an executive director of oil and gas, and I stand here, and Louis Vuitton stands right next to me. He has 1 million more value than I do. And guess what Louis Vuitton is? He's a tailor. Look at you, young lady. You might think I'm a big lady. You're a celebrity. Yeah, absolutely. You will excel way more than me, by the grace of God. Because your media personality, there's dignity in these things. Being a shoemaker, we go around looking for Louis Vuittons. He's a cobbler, for God's sakes. He makes shoes. Yeah, right? The guy that's making Mercedes, he's a mechanic. Dude, I mean, should I keep going?
Broken.
Dude, should I keep going? The wonderful man standing behind the camera here, right? His job is a reputable job. He can make or break my career in seconds. He's even probably more powerful than the senator or the president is, because he's controlling an equipment that can set my destiny from now onwards. So there is pride in every career. Go and learn work. I know people will tell me it's easy to say. So let me tell you one more story. Then I'll let you take over. When I was 7, I went to live with my grandma before we relocated to the U.S. My grandma's sister, technically, but my grandma. And she sold kerosene. So whenever she's not around, because I wanted candy, I can't remember the amount. I don't like lying. But let's just say, supposedly, it was 2 kobo, 10 kobo, 1 kobo, then kobo days, right? I would sell it for maybe 1 kobo and 2 kobo or something. Like, I'll add my own little profit to it. For working for her, I was paying myself. So once I sell, it started at a young age, because she was struggling, right? And I wanted to help out. More so, let me make it better for myself too. So I would make money and go buy candy. And now she doesn't have to worry about, buying me candy. Yes. And people would buy it because they just found it so cute. This little 7-year-old, oh my goodness, you're doing this. So when I went for my interview for this job at the Senate, well, don't call it interview, screening, Senate screening. And one of the senators was like, you got 2 bachelors, 2 masters, PhD, and you worked in, because I've worked in jewelry, I've worked in fashion, education, banking. Oh yeah. I've worked in tech, telecom, then of course tax. Yeah, tax. Now I'm in oil and gas. So I've been able to I've been very, very, very fortunate in my lifetime. I thank God for it. And they asked me, they're like, what experience do you have in oil and gas? I said, my first job by the age of 7, I was selling kerosene, black market. And the entire committee busted out laughing. I'm like, you can call my grandma. She's still alive. You can call her, ask her. I was like, so yeah, I have experience. They weren't questioning it. Somebody just you wanted to just know that, okay.
That was such a, because
Yeah. And I'm like, so it's not just 22 years, sir, that you're looking at. Since I was 7, so do the math. How old am I now? You know, I'm a lady, I won't tell you, but since I was 7. And they all laughed in the panel, and that was it. You know, so I go to say that it's not always rosy. You know, to sell kerosene is not funny. Okay? But I didn't look at it that way. I look at the cup half full. One last example. I did a job somewhere where I worked for a high-profile personality, and when the person left, political appointee, people decided they wanted to punish me. Yeah, because the person gone, right? Soldier comes, soldier goes, barrack remains, public service type of stuff. And someone decided they wanted to post me to the gate to go and work with the security guards. Oh my God, everybody, my friends were sad. Those that hated me, a lot of them, they were ecstatic. They finished with this woman. Very good. I was like, okay. I went home. I cried. That's the challenge. Then I was like, oh no. So I got to work 6 a.m. when the security is supposed to get there. Yes. And I took over. I opened the register. I said, okay, going forward, what is the policy in this place? Visiting hours, 12 to 1. And I must clear the people that can come in and go out. So I took over the gate where my superiors can't come in. I'll tell them, you can't park here. This is where executives park. You got to park at the parking. Yeah, and John, I took over that position.
You show them the power is not.
You can't come in. What are you coming into this premises for? You have no business in this premise. I have a list of people that occupy offices in this premise. Did they invite you? Call them. And if you call them, it's not visiting hours. So you got to go and come back. Again, I turned it around.
You turn it around. They show them that it's not who is holding the highest position of power. It's able to,
exactly. Yeah. And I got to my degrees because every time someone would want to punish me, they render you redundant. I didn't allow them to take control of my narrative. I allowed them because within their power, they can render me redundant. But I now channel myself and I start reading. Okay, let me read. What is accounting even all about? Start reading, write an exam. You didn't give me work, so let me build myself. Yeah. Then I'll write this exam. I passed it. Oh, really? Oh my God. Write another one. Oh my God. Write another one. And see me here today. So I tell people, I'm like, every degree, it was a punishment. I'm sore. Especially after the masters, right? After the first masters, when I moved back to Nigeria, specifically, because of course it's in Nigeria that people would do such a thing. When Western world pays you salary, they make you work. Oh, you will work for that money. It's Nigeria that they will pay you for free to punish you, to say sit there. You just sit there and let things be happening. So I keep myself busy and I improve myself. And God always, God has been very faithful. That is my everything. I have nothing. I am no one. I am nothing. God is it. So I don't have the answers for all of you ladies. But when you put your trust maximally in your maker and you tell him, you made me this, and I know you love me to have gotten me here, and I take your tenets and I abide by them. The Bible is not just there for fashion. Read it. For every problem you're facing today, Joseph has faced it. Okay? Moses has faced it. Solomon has faced it. David and Goliath, it's a lesson. In the Quran, same thing. It's the same prophets, right? So we have Jesus Christ, right? Is Nabi Isa for Muslims. So go read his story. By the time your best friend backstabs you, Judas did it to Judas. Yeah, they documented it for a reason. So when you live within those tenets and you face your God and say, one of the prophets was swallowed by a whale. He was so sure he's to be dead. But he didn't die. And there was a prayer he said, which is in the Bible, is in the Quran, that was said. Say the same prayer. You're not the first is happening to you. You're not going to be the last. It is what do you do with your situation at that moment. So please take this, ladies. Your social media account. If you want to be social, privatize it. Okay?
Yes.
Privatize it where someone must have a password, or you must allow a man to see your social hour if you'd like. That's if you can't do without chronicling yourself. But I don't even know why you'd want to chronicle your personal life. For me, of course, I'm a technocrat, so, right?
Yes.
Tiwa Savage, for example, Simisola, and I can keep going. All the wonderful women, right, that are doing marvelous things right now in the entertainment industry. They don't live their personal life the way they behave on stage. That's what I need people to understand. Tiwa is a serious mother. She has discipline. So don't mix it up. And the list goes on and on. There's a lot of us you can find. The question is, what is your calling? And what do you want to do with your calling? But I seriously suggest that even if you want to be in the entertainment world, you have to pick your role models. You can be like Nkonjo Iweala and be in the entertainment world.
Yeah.
Okay? I think there's mercy. I mean, there's a lot of women. I can sit here and talk about a lot of women that you can learn from. So just pick, but and remember where you're coming from and where you're going, because you're gonna have a child.
Who's gonna see everything you posted?
Exactly.
And remember that.
And Nigerians are so good. They will, this interview, 10 years from now, they will pull it up for my son so quickly to remind them. So, yeah.
But if I put out there,
don't live for today.
I love that voice. And oh my God, I think everything that you said so far is literally pointing to my next question. It's literally pointing so strongly, and that is, what is the role of mentorship and role modeling in leadership for girls, especially for girls? Do you think it's important, or do you think it's
It's critical. If there's a word worse or harsher than critical, we need it now, because our young girls are lost, honestly, and it hurts me all the time. I'm not speaking of all. I'm speaking of those I've encountered, those I've seen, and it aches me, because Nigeria, again, it takes a village. So you might not be my biological daughter, but you're still my responsibility. In oil and gas, there are these powerful women in energy. We stick together. We don't look at each other as, oh, do you have a bad attitude? Do you have a good attitude? Do we like you? Are you pretty? Are you ugly? Are you nice? Are you not? No. Women in energy. And we pull each other. We encourage each other. We fix each other. And we support each other. I think we need to go down deeper to a younger age and start building, because honestly, we're allowing social media raise our children, and it is a big problem. It's a big problem. So I, for one, will tell you that if that's one of my number one things to do, is to build a stronger network of women young girls and just lend a hand. It is my responsibility. That's what I'll be remembered for, not as executive director and NMDPRA. People remember Mariam Babangida because she believed so much in women. Yes. It is. There's a lot of us technocrats. We're not very social. I'm guilty of that. But we need some type of avenue where we need to do better. We need to do a lot better. As busy as we are, we need to make time because this is the future. If you have sons and you're not helping girls out now, that's what they're going to marry and bring home for you. Are you ready? Right? That's going to be the mother of your grandkids. Are you ready? So it's a circle of life. So mentorship is key. And honestly, I'd like to salute you and give you a crown today for what you're doing. And I will urge you to start a database of us that must give back to the likes of you that will now bring up the next generation. Because what you're doing takes courage. It takes passion, sincerity, love. Then most importantly, the young man behind the camera, that is a he for she. He believes in women. He's in the background, but he's doing the most important work. So we need a network of people like that also. His daughters, his sisters, his aunts. So I think you should champion this. Take it on board. People like me, I'll give you my LinkedIn account. I'll repost and post and post. That's the least I can do. And we start bringing people on. When you do anything with a purpose, you'll be amazed at where you get. Someone else that's doing a fantastic job is Abike W. Arewa. Fantastic job. Then you have the women that are in the news. You know, the Ojinika Okwe, the Ayo Marwa, Femi Adesina. There's so many wonderful women. I can keep going on, and I know their names, but because I'm at the moment, I can't get it out. You know, the ladies in channels, the ladies in exactly. We have Zain Asher, who's in CNN. So I mean, you can keep going. TVC, we have great programs on TVC. Then there's a program with 4 women. What is it called? That they discuss? No, The View. TVC. Thank you. So, I mean, like I said, I can sit here for days. Women doing great things, breaking barriers. Women in the military, women in the police, women in the all sectors. So, I think you should find us, bring us into a basket and delegate, create a system where we can care mentor. Yes. I think that was so beautiful. I thought about that, but I just was wondering, okay, I know how busy. We must make time. I was like, I know it's a sacrifice for you to, and it's just fact that you should be resting or doing meetings and you came here. And that also just shows your heart. Yes, absolutely. It shows how you're passionate about, what you said, is really giving back to the people. And it's more women are like you. I believe we're going to have a great exchange of, values from the older generation to the younger generation, so that we don't lose the values, we don't lose all of the important things that, just like I said, we don't have our kids being raised by social media as people who, we don't want it to be like, right? Yeah. And it's been such a pleasure speaking to you, and most importantly, listening to you, because I'm not watching you like everybody else, and I need to take in this information and take down notes for myself, because I'm still growing, and everything you said also does apply to me as well. So thank you so much. Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for being here and for
bringing your heart and just sharing everything. You just came here and you didn't hold back. You gave us stories, real life stories, and you just brought it all. So thank you again for that. And before I let you go, we have a very quick fun segment that we just do just to bring up a little bit of vibe to it.
Sure.
And because we're still Gen Z, so we need to bring in a little bit of our spice as we always do.
Sure. Let's see if I qualify.
Of course you do.
Huh? This is what I know I'm cool.
Yeah, you show us that you're cool.
Yeah.
Okay, this is called the Rapid Fire Power Play question.
Sure.
And it's just, we have 5 questions. So the trick is to answer the question without thinking so much. So basically, what second answers. So when I drop the question, I get an answer and I go to the next. So that's short.
Let's go.
Okay, I love it. It's like, nothing to worry. I was planned ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question is, one word that best describes you.
Tenacity.
Okay, she's ready all day. Number 2, your favorite leadership book or resource.
Follow the Money by Stacey Nwodo. And I wish I could talk more about it, but magnificent book. Follow the money, not the way you're thinking, but in a brilliant manner. Yes.
Okay.
Follow the money.
Back to that one. Let's go. Number 3, who is a woman leader that inspires you?
Oh, you just said there's a lot, but who comes up quickly? Amina Mohammed.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. What is the best leadership advice you have ever received?
Talk less, listen more.
Number 5, this week is the end of this particular segment. What is that one thing you cannot start your day without?
Coffee. Caramel macchiato. Caramel coffee.
It's lovely. Okay. Thank you so much. But before I let you go, you want to is about the book that you spoke about.
Yeah.
I want to say more about it, and I want to hear more about it because I love reading. I love books. So yes, let's hear it. Follow the money.
Okay. Excellent. So prayers before coffee.
Yeah.
Actually, it's prayers first.
Okay.
First and foremost, prayers. Then coffee. It goes back to back. Immediately I'm done pray. My coffee is ready. Right. Follow the Money is a book that was written by Stacey Nwodo. She's a forensic expert, and she teaches women how to manage resources and how to know what good money is, what bad money is. So it's a spectacular book. I won't say more than that. She's a spectacular woman, Nigerian woman, and you should look for it. You should look for it. Yeah,
I think financial management is very important for women. We need to learn more about finance. We need to be aware and be taught about finance.
yeah. And before you close, I'd like to say, please, everybody, Nigeria first. Ask not what Nigeria would do for you. Ask what you will do for Nigeria. Go for Nigerian things.
That was so empowering. Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Zainab Gobir. Your insights and wisdom will no doubt inspire our listeners to go ahead and chase their dreams and lead with passion and purpose. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow us at Beauty, Brains and the Bag for more inspiring tips and leadership stories. Remember, you are not just pretty, but pretty powerful.